So hello, I prepared a talk about Magento. It's not a problem, and the problem is how we use it. And most of the time, Magento it's not failing; it's everything around. And Magento it's very powerful, but it can be misused. That's me in my RX-7. I'm a bit obsessed with one rotary engine. And one rotary engine, it's small, compact, very powerful. But if you neglect or if you misuse, everybody blame engine. It's fault of the engine. Magento is very similar. It's very powerful and can solve multiple complex solution and deliver that. But in the same way, if it's misused, everybody blame Magento. And most of the time, I see it's not a problem, the Magento or engine, it's everything around it. And what I'm doing, I'm still technical, but I try to be translator between business and technical, and between technical and business. My friend Jakub write very nice book about this. I really recommend this book. And it's easy to use mighty tool when complexity is there. Issue it's not a complexity issue, it's the value. And same like I think so like that lyrics from the Rolling Stones. Most merchants or most requirements from a merchant, it's not about what they want, it's about what they need. And I will not talk anymore about me or what I'm doing. I will tell you real story of the Spectrum Brands. Spectrum Brands, it's a big international company separated in a 3 divisions. I work with 1 division, which is home personal care brands. In the US, probably you know brands like Emer Agassi, Black & Decker, Power XL, but more in Europe or in the UK, it's mostly Russell Hobbs and Remington. Commerce is not one side. Commerce is not a website or Magento. It's a team. It's a market. It's integration. It's governments around it. Same with the Spectrum Brands. Multiple stores, multiple services, one story. And story begins with a mismatch. When I start, they give me keys, but no one build the roads. Spectrum Brands, it's not a business who need to learn to trade. That's 50 years old business who know how to trade, business how to know how to do sales, how to do product. I walk through all symptoms when I start, misalignment, incompetence, and when release is unpredicted, it's big stop. Effort, it's not measurable, it's not about impact. Misaligned between UX and UI, a lot of issues which need to be fixed and need to be put in the right order. Core vitals, I would say there was no core vitals at the time. Time to first byte, around 3 seconds. Business don't know even if it's important or not important. It's on, I would say, us, agencies, developers to advocate for business and explain, yeah, performance is important, security is important. Even from the point of measure data, make end-to-end test, use New Relic, use any good tool to provide valuable data, valuable insight for the businesses, for the merchants. So I start with rebuilds, and it was reduce complexity, reduce workflow, and try to map what really business need and what really business want to deliver the growth. I didn't try to change the business model or how they operate. They already know how to produce the product, but there was some gaps which doesn't fit for B2C, D2C approach, and same mistake was replicated in a Magento on the beginning when they start to do as they do business without digital. They try to replicate that in digital. That doesn't work. Digital, its own discipline. Magento, its own discipline. E-commerce, its own discipline. So technically, I start stripping down what was in Magento without any purpose, without any value, to start focusing on a basic foundation to bring alignment for what business really want. And business really wants sales. That's it. So, removing complexity, removing special cases, what was there like a create edge case for maybe once a year, which causing a lot of problems. And it's my philosophy. The happy path must be always the default path. There's nothing critical workflow which requires the knowledge and platform to be hated. That's the challenge what I see with business like this, or not just this, in multiple businesses in the past. Then it's come to shift. And after almost a year, when I work with Spectrum brands, Magento is no longer enemy. The team coming back to me and saying, this is working, this is how we should do it in a couple months ago, couple weeks ago, couple years ago. Because they finally see results, they finally see the e-com platform delivering for them what they want. So it's there less fear. Even, I would say, less bugs, less iteration to requirements from teams to do something new. So the trust in a platform started growing, and it became predictable because we had a roadmap. We had a solution which we will follow, not just for next sprints or sprint after, but we have like a proper plan for 6 months in advance to create a proper, excuse me, to create proper solution. We eliminate any last-minute change. We eliminate any, I want that because I'm saying that. Because that was never works in a real business. The business start to be data-driven. So we start measure. We implemented New Relic correctly. We implemented RAM Vision. We implemented correctly Google Analytics and start to be really data-driven, not just opinion-driven, or when someone said it's important and we need to do it. I would say only thing what it's important when someone say it's illegal, when you need to follow some compliance. That's, I would say, it's only excuse when someone say you need to do it, then do it. We start implementing end-to-end testing to follow our customer journey, to follow what our customer really needs, which helps us to moving faster, because anytime when we have a new iteration, we know it's working for our customers. We know it's working for our sales because we didn't break it, because we measured that. That came to performance. Performance, it's, I would say, not word which is like a nice to have. I would say it's must have. So just before Christmas, we start migrating to Hiva, which give us the performance, give us the new tools and new set of features which we will be using. I hope so in this year, because plan is to migrate most of the brands, most of the countries to Hiva. We are in the middle of that process. So that will help make our life much more easy. So for me, it's important to say just one thing, and that's on my last slide. It's deliver more than Jira. Most of the requirements, it's coming to developers, it's a Jira ticket. And most of the developers see Jira ticket and they deliver Jira ticket. Don't treat Magento as a project. It's not a project. For the merchant, it's a product. It's a product which gave them the power to sell more, increase visibility, increase brand transparency. This is project. It's not. It's a product, not a project. So start with a business workflow. Try to understand not what business want, but what do business need. To understand how they operate, how their business model works, how they try to go to new markets, and then design the change, and not just in Magento. Sometimes I know it's hard, but sometimes it's better to explain to business how to change operation process, how to change workflow inside, because they need to adapt for future. AI is coming, and a lot of talks it's about AI now, but even with AI, it's the top of the iceberg. Everything behind that has to be right. It doesn't work. With e-commerce, it's exactly the same. E-commerce and front-end facing to customer, it's top of the iceberg. Everything behind that has to work in the same way. Then reduce complexity. Don't try to bring a huge complexity because of business want that. It's every single customization, every single feature what you try to deliver, it has to earn to stay in a system for the cost. Because if customer come with anything, and now I know in Magento it's possible to deliver anything what customer want, it's just matter of the cost. But that's mindset to deliver anything what business want just for cost, it would breaking the trust in a platform, because then we will end. The feature doesn't work, feature doesn't fit to purpose, or business realize it's not even what they want, and then it's back to beginnings. Everybody blame engine. So define success, and define success not with an opinion, not with a suggestion. Define success with a concrete fields, with numbers, with a predicted growth, with a speed, with the operation time. All numbers which bringing some value. That's how we should define outcome, not take in a Jira ticket it's done or deployed on a production. That's beginning, that's not end. Every change needs owner and support part for the rollback. So if we try to deliver something new, and I think so our rollout with Hiva doesn't went on the first time correctly. But because we have an all plan, we have an all backup, it was delivered 4 hours later. Because we was ready for failure. We was ready to anything what can come. And this is important. Even if we try to deliver small install module, QA said module is tested in a local environment or integration environment, everything works. I would say QA never is able to test all end-to-end journey and everything what can break. That's not blame for QA, it's just, it's too complex and too expensive to test everything. So it's better to have a fallback plan. If anything went wrong, what we will do. And like I said before, performance and security right now, it's not nice to have, it's a must have. And this is what I'm trying to say. It's try to deliver more than Jira, try to build the trust between merchant and agency with the developers and try to focus more on a output and outcome. It's not that hard when you try to explain to merchants, yeah, we deliver value, not the Jira ticket or hours. So, that's me. Any questions? Yes? Yeah, I first need to identify the process, to map the process correctly, to understand, not just from e-com perspective, because their process existing there for some reasons in the past. It could be how they do B2B business, how they do some compliance. Whenever I need to understand why the process existing like that. And then I try to map how that can work in the e-commerce. Because every change has some impact, it's create wave. It's not always I need to change the process. I try to map that. So sometimes it's a slight adjustment, speak with the SAP team to do, yeah, we need to do small changes because I need this data to be populated like that. And vice versa, because Magento is powerful, we can do small tweaks in Magento to follow that process. But to understand key, it's to understand that. And if it's there something, I would say, some no-go, then we need to sit and discuss with the business, left and right, to find the alignment. Because business want to grow, business want to sales, and if they put obstacle in the road and they cannot grow, then we need to find a way how we eliminate the obstacle. And sometimes it can be change the process completely in a business. The key is to understand the whole story, why the process is there, and how we operate. Any more questions? First time when I sit with a business, it was quite funny because they came with big plans, what they want to achieve, and they're struggling with that. And I didn't promise anything. I said I will have a look how you works, and then I can find some ways how we can achieve that together, how we can achieve the growth. Because without me to knowing deep how they operate or how they have a setup system, I cannot bring the magic pills. I cannot say, yeah, Magento, it's ultimate tool which give you ultimate sale. It doesn't work like that. It's all teamwork. It's a agency, developers, it's a team in a merchant, all has to work together on the same goal to deliver same value. And this is what I try to explain and educate. It's not me, it's not developers, it's not project manager. We have one team and we have one goal, and we want to try to deliver that. Yes, it is. I would say the biggest friction is always come from legal and I can say IT, because in many businesses, IT it's a gatekeeper to try to hold everything. It's often funny, but with the right explanation why we want that, with the data-driven, not like I'm saying that, I always need, for everything what I try to achieve, I need support with the data, I need to dig something from analytics, dig something from, let's say, e-commerce trend, or find some similar case study with similar merchants or different merchants to show them, yeah, this is the way how we should do it, and I have a hard evidence. We need to do change. Change is not easy, but with the right explanation and with right tool, you are able to explain that, and then implementation. It's quite easy. Any more questions? Okay, so thank you.